Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be of me planning for my February budget. I know it's kind of late, but had issues with the mail carrier and yeah. But before I really jump into this, I just want to take this time out to say thank you. As I film this today on February 3rd, I have 21 subscribers and I am in such shock. Thank you guys for the support, because I really, honestly, I know like 21 subscribers is probably not a lot to some, but for me to have reached that really in like less than 2 months, really in 1 month, that is really it's shocking to me, because I'm introverted and I definitely wasn't pushing my channel out like that. So for you guys who found me and decided to stick along for the ride, thank you. And you know, if you're subscribing, you're returning to my videos, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a new viewer and you just want to see what all I have to offer, you know, feel free to search through the videos. I hope you find anything helpful in these videos. Initially I wasn't really going to do monthly budgets. The first one I did was really just to show how I was going to use it for the year, but I noticed that the budget video was like one of my most popular videos, and I didn't think it would be that popular because I wasn't showing real numbers. I know that's what a lot of people like. You know, they want to see all your bills and they want to see all your numbers and stuff so they can try to relate. You know, I mean, it makes sense, but me personally, but I don't want to. But if you guys are fine with just sticking around and watching me decorate, then by all means I will continue to make these videos. So for February, I'm going to be using this sticker sheet. I'll be using the silver foil for this one, and I haven't decided if I'm going to use this yet, but if I do, you'll just have to stay tuned to find out. Okay, so along with these sticker sheets that I'm going to use, I also, of course, have the ones that I made. And yeah, so we will be hopping into the month of February. I went ahead and made some new labels to correspond with the color scheme for this month. These stickers, of course, I'll be using for income. I'll be using this color for tracking bills. I made these for like incoming packages like Happy Meal, and I suppose I'll use the rest of these for any events that should happen in the month of February. Of course, I have no spend stickers, I have my income, my expenses, and my budget stickers. And I'm just going to jump right on in. So before I actually do the budget, I'll go ahead and set up my monthly view. And I wrote down all my bills, at least all the due dates. So since it's like February 3rd, I pretty much know exactly how much all my bills cost and the due dates and everything. So I'll just go ahead and start with all that first. First, I'll put down my paydays. So we got paid this past Friday, and we'll get paid again on the 16th, which is also Chinese New Year. Okay, in January was a really, January was kind of a chaotic month. Like I had a lot of stuff going on in January. Stuff that I was prepared for, and then stuff I wasn't prepared for. It was a lot of good stuff. My job, we got bought out by a different company, so we got a retention bonus. That was good for one, but it totally threw my budget, at least for the last week, off track. I didn't spend everything, but definitely went a little haywire. And the first is the rent, but I just paid that today. But yeah, also in January, I have apparently I have 2 shops open on Etsy. The first shop that I ever opened was called Fresh Out the Trunk. It was a shop where I sold handmade crochet items, mainly like hats for the most part, but I've been learning how to do other stuff like stuffed animals and stuffed pillows and all that stuff. So I actually had my first online purchase on the last week of January. That shop has been online for like years now, and I tried pushing it, like I'll say May of 2017. Still never found anything from it. So like a couple months after that, I just stopped working on it online, and I started doing a lot of things locally. And then I was doing so many orders locally, like I got burnt out with it, and I just stopped doing it altogether, which is when I started Chaotic Canvas, which was the whole graphic design, sticker printable, animation shop thing. So January turned out to be a busy month for the crochet shop because I sold 2 heart pillows that I made for a co-worker. I also had somebody purchase a hat from me online. It turns out it didn't fit, but I am remaking it for them, and I'll be shipping it out this week. I also got another order from another co-worker. He wants 2 heart pillows for his daughters for around Valentine's Day. And then I have another co-worker who wants me to make him one of those Viking hats with the beard. And then I think I have another co-worker that wants like a skull beanie. So I'm pretty sure February is going to be another busy month in terms of business. It's kind of funny because as soon as I made up in my mind that I wasn't going to be pursuing the business or like actively trying to do a business or whatever, suddenly I start getting all this work. So yeah, currently right now I'm just putting down all of my bills. I have, still on the 7th. See, it's a good thing that I do this monthly because some of these due dates, they tend to move around. This is for my my electric bill, but normally that's due between the 8th and the 9th. Couple of event stickers because my mom's birthday is actually on the 13th. And I don't know if I should put this down or not. On the 24th, there is a little puppy that will be ready to come home at 8 weeks old. And I have not made up my mind if I actually want to go through and get this dog. I love dogs. I love dogs. Like I grew up with dogs mainly. We never had cats. It was either dogs or fish. And I love them. We had everything from like big barkers. We had two Labradors, two black Labradors that I loved. My sister, she now has a little Pomeranian. Like, we've had all kinds of dogs in my lifetime. And I would love to get him. But for one thing, I live by myself and I work full time, obviously. So that right there is like, eh. Number two, I don't know if I want to actually own a dog. It's like I love animals and I love dogs and canines and all that stuff. But to be solely responsible for another living thing, is that something I really want to do? You know? It's like I'd have to be responsible for the food, I'd have to be responsible for the care, for the love, the attention, the exercise, to everything. And I don't know if I want that kind of responsibility. I'm one of those people who is not in a rush to be in a relationship or have kids or anything like that. I don't care about any of that stuff. I like my peace. I love my peace and quiet and solitude whenever I can have it. I'm one of those people who really know how to enjoy being alone. I really enjoy being alone, and that's something a lot of people around me don't understand. And that's okay, you know. People don't need to understand everything about you. But that's just my thing, like, knowing who I am and knowing how I can really enjoy being by myself. Do I really want to bring an animal into that environment? Like, will I adjust to it being with me? It's a lot of things that I'm thinking about, but I'll go ahead and write in my bills. Normally what I do is I just go in and write like what I paid or what the bill is for that day. In the paid sections, I just write, you know, the amount that I had come in, and hopefully in February I'll have a lot more of these, a lot more of the green ones like I did in January. I love to see that. So now we will get into the fun part, for me anyway. We will get into doing the budget. Basically what I do is I just write all my expenses right down the line. Like before, I just total it up and write it right here. Then whatever this total was, I'll subtract it from my paycheck, and that will be the balance for the next part, which is going to be the budget. So and I've kind of already started, obviously, I've already started using my budget now. But basically, all it is for this paycheck will be gas, grocery, toll, and personal. Is that all? Yeah, I think I'm trying to get rid of my eating out category. That is another thing that went horribly wrong the last week of January because of the bonus, but I was eating out a lot. So, and I'm actually still been eating out, so I really need to get back to trying to cook and actively saving money again. So so whatever is left after that, I'll total up the tally for my budget, subtract it from this box, and whatever's left in here is what I intend to save. Also, I'll use this one. I'll just put here at the end of the month, like I did in January, I'll just put what I actually saved for the whole entire month. Budget. I'll move on to this section. Now, some of the stuff that I did in January, I don't think I'm going to stay or keep up with. One of them being the checking accounts. I don't think that really helped me in any kind of way. But I definitely want to keep up with the savings wall. Do I actually want to? I seen somebody else do. Like something with this, but I don't know, I just like to draw it in. So if you guys don't mind watching me draw, then I'm going to draw. Okay, you guys, so I just realized that my camera cut off on me while I was like drawing out this side. Basically, you didn't really miss too much, but I just I changed some things up a little bit. I kept my savings wall because I really liked how that worked out for me in January. I kept my next month box for the month of March. I changed out the checking account box, and I believe it was a cash envelope box, to monitor two major expenses that went haywire in January, which was eating out and miscellaneous. Eating out more so for like the last 2 weeks in January because of the bonus that I got. So I was eating out more than I should have been. And as you can see, I already wrote in some expenses that I spent yesterday from eating out. Miscellaneous, because I also talked about how my crochet business really started picking up in January, so I ended up buying like materials and paying for shipping labels and a P.O. box. So obviously that was stuff that I never planned for in January because I didn't expect to have that kind of growth. So I do want to monitor those random unplanned expenses here. And then I also just did like a other section for basically keeping track of like maybe my credit score, the savings, and because I have money market accounts that I'm trying to save for like a decent new car, like home building or home buying funds, and an emergency fund. So I wanted to keep track of those things here. And I think around that time it cut off because I was drawing. You know, when you draw you get lost in it. So that will bring me to my dotted grid section, which I'm pretty much going to keep how I did in January. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it though. Hopefully it doesn't cut off on me again. But I also wanted to implement sinking funds. I don't think I've ever really done sinking funds before, so I wanted to try it with like a couple of different categories to see how that works out. So yeah. So now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do this sinking fund thing. So I don't think I have that many categories. I want to save 2. to my monthly view, and I have all my paydays, all my bills, all my events, and happy mails sorted out. Here on this section, I have my savings wall next month, and I'm going to be doing eating out, miscellaneous. I'm going to be tracking those expenses, and other for like other random essentials. And then for my February budget in total for the most part. So I have one more thing I wanted to do, because in my last planner, my planner for last year, the way I would use those like the way I would use these boxes was for an expense tracker, and I think it really helped me stay in line with my spending. And you know, now that I'm using those boxes for something else, I kind of don't want to go back to using it as an expense tracker, but I would like to have one. So I think I'm going to just make one out of my notes pages using a different sticker sheet. So this, I'll use the puppy kit, since this month I don't know if I'm gonna get a dog. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to go ahead and make this into an expense tracker. You know, that is how I'm going to use this page. In my notes section, I have a little clip that I'm going to use right here to flip to it. Basically, along with the miscellaneous and the eating out categories, if I can flip back to it, basically I'll probably put eating out and miscellaneous here as well, but I think I mainly want to do it for like everything that I have to buy for the business and all that stuff, as well as other, you know, unaccounted for purchases that may not fit with